In the Rice Native Gardens Field Museum, city of Chicago, I have come across another interesting goldenrod which has very broad leaves. Leaves are sharply toothed and the stem is zigzag. So this particular solidago or goldenrod is also known as zigzag goldenrod. Botanically, this particular species of goldenrod is identified as Solidago flaxicollis. Collis means stem and flaxi means which has pliability, which has tenderness. So this particular goldenrod is growing in this shrubbery. You can see here in the wilderness. Rather, this is a maintained, preserved prairie plant garden where many prairie plants stand introduced and conserved. So this particular solidago is very interesting. Stem is unbranched willow with very broad toothed leaves borne in alternate fashion, and then the stem has a little bit zigzag growth. Ultimately, upper leaves are simply lanceolate and their size becomes smaller as they progress towards the apex of the stem. And these disc florets and ray florets add charm to the autumn season, as this is the late flowering goldenrod. Goldenrod has over 60 species, and many species are native to Northern America, especially the prairies, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and even state of Michigan. So all this shrubbery in Field Museum has this unique solidago flaxicollis, which I have not come across anywhere else except Rice Native Garden maintained at Field Museum of Natural History, where they have taken pains to maintain the shrubbery for the environmental preservation as well as the preservation of the native species. Native species stand accorded equal significance and importance as other decorative plants. So this zigzag goldenrod I have not come across elsewhere, but this is the location where I could see it. It is growing, and it is, although not as beautiful as Solidago speciosa, showy goldenrod, or even for that matter another stiff goldenrod which is Solidago rigida. What this shrubbery has unique zigzag goldenrod. Solidago here also. This is beauty of Solidago flaxicollis zigzag goldenrod, not to be confused with similar looking Solidago Bulgaria, which grows in Jammu Hills, and flowers are borne in axillary fascicles, as the leaves are never that broad of it as you find in this zigzag goldenrod. Upper leaves, although they look very similar to Solidago Bulgaria as they are lens shaped, but down below the stem leaves are quite broad and sharp toothed. and stem has some kind of zigzag growth, so it is identified as zigzag goldenrod. Along with this particular goldenrod, I will show you another more beautiful goldenrod, and this goldenrod is Solidago rigida. So this particular goldenrod is more showy and more taller than Solidago flexicolis. Its flowers are golden yellow and they are more dense, and they are also attracting honeybees, but I could not spot honeybees on the flowers of Solidago flexicolis. One distinction which I noticed is that Solidago rigida or stiff goldenrod, it grows in the sunny locations. So it's a sunshine, and in the sunny sunshine you have this unbranched goldenrod branching only at the apex. Down below it is a simple stem, and leaves are stalkless, and they are not broad, and even the margin is entire. Leaf margin is not toothed. And this Solidago rigida is also blooming in the autumn season, when there is a melody of cicadas. Cicadas are chirping, signifying the arrival of monsoon. Not arrival of monsoon, arrival of autumn. Monsoon is over in India, but autumn season starts with the flowering of different kinds of goldenrods in the prairie grasslands, and this one is Solidago rigida, stiff goldenrod, quite tall, and leaves are also different. Leaves are not toothed, so we can differentiate this goldenrod from the smaller shade loving zigzag goldenrod Solidago flexicolis. So this particular rice garden has put up very interesting nameplates also of different plants which grow here. Eastern redbud, that is Cercis canadensis, with beautiful flowering during spring season. This is bur oak, which is Quercus macrocarpa with the largest acorn. Black-eyed Susan, which is Rudbeckia fulgida. Very interesting grasses, Andropogon girardi, which is a big blue stem. Big blue stem grass is Andropogon girardi. So this is the Rice Native Gardens, a living exhibition about the natural history of the Chicago region. Legend for sun conditions and characteristics: part shade, full sun, full shade, pollinator friendly, medicinal, that kind of categorization of these plants. So you see another plant which is called as large flowered bellbird, Ubularia grandiflora. I have not come across this particular plant. This I missed. But another one is Midoriu Thalectrum decicarpum. Then very unique spider bird, Tradescantia, we are familiar, but this Tradescantia is Tradescantia ohioensis, means it is native to Ohio or northern Central America, although it looks like Tradescantia silamontana, but there might be some characters which segregate it, and it is named as after Ohio as Tradescantia ohensis. This very important prairie drop seed grass, Sporobolus heterolepis, is also under cultivation, under preservation in this rice native garden. And there are peculiar kind of oats, which is side oat grama grass. This is also seen in the shrubbery, botanically identified as Botellua curti pendula. Then there is a wild lupin, Lupinus perennis, which we also find in the wilderness, in the meadow of flowers, Gulmarg. These plants are native to the Chicago region. By having native plants in your garden, you can support a healthy ecosystem. So this is the message of this shrubbery. So already I talked about these different kinds of goldenrods. Along with the goldenrod, there are also rudbeckias, and this is rudbeckia. No, this is not rudbeckia. This is ratibida. As the color of the central cone is not black, rather it is brown. Moreover, even leaves are pinnately lobed. So this unique brown cone yellow flower is Ratibida pinnata, not to be confused with true cone flower, which is Rudbeckia. Many species, Rudbeckia fulgida is one, Rudbeckia triloba is another, Rudbeckia subtomentosa is another, Rudbeckia horta is another one. So lot of diversity within Rudbeckias also. This similar looking plant is not Rudbeckia, rather this is brown-eyed Ratibida pinnata. And another interesting plant, which is Agastache, having these yellow flowers. This is from mint family, and this is Agastache nepentidus, as its foliage has some resemblance with Nepeta cataria. Nepeta cataria is also found in this shrubbery in the city of Chicago, and I have seen plenty growing even in Anantnag, Srinagar city, Kashmir. That plant is common to Chicago as well as Srinagar. I couldn't find this Eupatorium bone set serotinum in India, but this is native to North America. Here are many other flowers which are in the shrubbery, and one particular plant is Dwellingzeria, which has the entire leaves. They are ovate lanceolate. It's a kind of aster. Earlier it was called as aster. Now it stands segregated into Dwellingzeria. And there are foliage of different plants which will change color as the autumn proceeds, as the autumn progresses. Particular shrub from Rus, this is flame leaf Rus, and this Rus has the binged rachis, so it is known as binged sumac. Another name is flame sumac, and this particular sumac is interesting for its blood red foliage during autumn. So still autumn is 2 weeks, 3 weeks away, so still it is bearing the green compound leaves, but otherwise this will be quite fiery red from the mango family plant. This is affinity with mango also, and its fruits are also used for lemonades. You have beauty of different kinds of esters, but the beauty of this stiff goldenrod, solidago rigida, is marvelous. So whosoever visits the field museum, they are welcome to the Rice Native Gardens, a living exhibition about natural history that showcases the museum's commitment to conservation and community, sharing the beauty and vitality of native plants and wildlife habitat. This is Eupatorium serotinum, not to be confused with Eupatorium altissimum, where leaves are stalkless. Here you will find a small petiole. Petiole is present in serotinum but absent in case of altissimum. Moreover, this is bushy, whereas Eupatorium altissimum is unbranched and has presence in the prairie vegetation. This is Cercis canadensis, eastern red bud, and this is Joe Pye wheat, which is very interesting for butterflies when it's blooming, but since now blooming period is over, now it is full of its fluffy seeds or achenes, which will be devoured by different songbirds like red-winged blackbird and even cardinalis, red cardinalis. All these plants are native to North America. One. Second, they stand preserved here for the welfare of different kinds of pollinators. So that is another beauty. And they have also put up these grasses, which is Andropogon girardi, big blue stem. So if you see closely, the stem is also having bluish tinge, purplish bluish tinge, and very tall. It is more than 8 feet tall, rather 2 meter, 2.5 meters tall. This is a Andropogon girardi, big blue stem. So what are different plants? They have put up different signages and they have reflected how the kids should be allured towards shrubbery, towards flowers right from childhood, so that they can lead the society when they grow as adults. So we need to nurture the love for environment, love for nature study while the kids are small. So this is one message very clear. Native American use of plants continues as a contemporary practice and connects native people through a shared history and set of traditions. Indigenous communities draw upon plants for utilitarian functions, medicinal uses, food sources, and various rituals or ceremonies. In the relationship between Native Americans and local plants, we see the beginnings of deliberate stewardship of the land. This underlying connection that binds people to the land continues to enrich and nurture communities and cultural practices. Many of these communities fight to regain, maintain, and sustain their ancestral lands by removing invasive plant species and restoring them with the indigenous foliage. So with that purpose, they have put up a great show of this rice native gardens. So what are other plants which they have put and displayed here? So this is a butterbrush grass, Elymus hystrix, This is butterfly bead, Asclepias tuberosa. This is columbine, Equilegia canadensis. Common milk bead, Asclepias syriaca. Jewel weed, Eupatorium purpureum. Lead plant, Amorpha canescens. Pensage, Carex, Penis salvanica. Rough blazing stone, Liatris, Aspera, Nine-bore, Physocarpus, Apulifolius, and nodding onion, Ilium cernum. These plants are native to the Chicago region. By having native plants in your garden, you can support a healthy ecosystem. So have a look on the shrubbery, and above shrubbery you also have some trees which are quite fascinating. For example, this plant is hawthorn. In Kashmir we have ringa, rinkul, but that is Crataegus sungarica, whereas this Crataegus is different. This is Crataegus, another species, Crataegus variety anarmi, Crataegus cristigali, yeah. Cockspur hawthorn is its common name, and its fruits laden twigs, they have some kind of spinous branchlets, so it is named as cockspur hawthorn, or botanically identifying as Crataegus cristigali variety enormis. And not only hawthorn but even junipers, lot of juniper species, they are native to North America, and these stands planted here. This is Hypericum, and there are tall trees of Tilia americana or basswood, and this is Quercus, perhaps this is Macrocarpa. Yes, it is Macrocarpa, as the apex lobe is quite large. Otherwise it is deeply divided leaf, but if upper lobe is larger, then it is Quercus Macrocarpa. And not only these Ratibeda pinnata, but also we have another plant which is called as Silphium. This is Silphium, and since the leaves are not fused but they are stalkless, and this species is, I think, integrifolium. So you have the Silphium plants also growing in the shrubbery, and this one is common milkweed with fruits, Asclepias syriaca, which attracts the butterfly, which is named as monarch butterfly. And it was on this particular plant 5 minutes ago. I spotted it, but the moment I reached here it flew away, but you may be able to see again somewhere. So the whole shrub will have these kinds of red foliage during autumn. As autumn is approaching, so leaflets are turning blood red, orange red, but majority of leaves are still green. And there are many other plants. For example, this plant is also interesting plant, and it also has leaves are opposite, as it doesn't have the dark red or dark black central disc. It is greenish, so it can be some Heliantha species. Not sure which species it can be. Maybe Helianthus passiflorus, not sure. So on one hand they have preserved the native shrubbery, but on the other hand they have also preserved traditions and more decorative flowers like different cultivars of begonia, different cultivars of impatiens valeriana, then these alocasia leaves, the different charming colors. Not only that, even Taxus cuspidata. This is begonia, beautiful flowers of begonia. This is coleus, this is alocasia, and this is Taxus cuspidata. And this tree is of Tilia americana. Here in this shrubbery you have lot of common milkweed for the monarch butterfly, where even squirrels are there. And you have Ceanothus plants also. Flowering is over. And if you scan more, you will also find Liatris. This one is Liatris aspera, rough blazing star, and this is prairie drop seed, Sporobolus, and this is blue stem plant, but this smaller one. So this is Shygecairium scoparium. This is a small blue stem grass, and these are different foliage and flowers for decoration. In this you have very peculiar salvia also, red flowering salvia, which is native to Mexico, and this another salvia farinaceae. So these are trees of Tilia. Once these Tilia trees were placed in the family Tiliaceae, but now stand shifted to Malvaceae. And even in Kashmir we have many Tilia species, for example Tilia cordata as well as Tilia platyphilus, but this one is Tilia americana, American basswood. And this is the field museum, and you find more shrubbery and more species. So this particular plant which I saw earlier and confused it, this is Heliopsis helianthoides, false sunflower. It is a false sunflower, not to be confused with Rhodbachia. And here you have the flowers of Hypericum, Saint John wort. But this species is native to North America. Even in Jammu Hills we have many Hypericums. For example, Hypericum oblongifolium, Hypericum elodioides. But this Hypericum is native to America, forgetting its species name. Here you have the New England aster, that is Symphotrichum novi angli, and these are the goldenrod, stiff goldenrod, solidago, rigida, and this is also the beauty of late flowering, which will bloom even to mid-autumn. This unique aster is also native to Europe. but many species are native to North America also. And this is all Moonset Eupatorium, and there are follicles of Asclepias syriaca. This is the grass. Another lesson for all of us is they have prioritized even the preservation of the local grasses or ornamental grasses, which is lacking in India. Here is very interesting goldenrod, a new species. This particular species is named as rough goldenrod or Solidago rugosa, but its cultivar is quite interesting as it has some kind of fireworks as we witnessed during Diwali time. So it has been named as Solidago rugosa variety fireworks, but a beautiful name. And even its golden flowers, flowering spikes, they are just lengthening sideways and just giving an impression as if some kind of fireworks going on. So this is also Solidago rugosa fireworks, and here I see bumblebees. Honeybees, honeybees are also there. Yes. So honeybees and bumblebees both, they are enjoying the flowering feast of Solidago, the goldenrod. Goldenrod has a lot of traditional and native significance, and once it was also declared as the state flower of Kentucky. Later it was abandoned and some other flower has been chosen. But there was a tradition of even celebrating the goldenrod festival in the month of September in Michigan. And there is one unique species which is unique to Michigan, endemic to Michigan or Northern America. That one is Solidago short eye, and it has a short stem. It is a smaller in size. It doesn't grow very tall, unlike this Solidago rigida, which is quite handsome and more tall. But Solidago short eye is unique species native to North America. And this particular plant is quite interesting as it has been named as 9 bark because it exfoliates its bark and some kind of digit 9 is observed by the people, by the experts. So it stands named as 9 bark. Botanically speaking, it belongs to rose family, Rosaceae, and it has handsome foliage. Flowers are white. When it flowers, then it is decorative, but even without flowers, quite decorative. And this is called Physocarpus apulifolius. And here I see one Rudbeckia, I think. Yeah, because in Heliopsis leaves are opposite. Here leaves are not opposite. So this is Rudbeckia. Either it is Herta or Fulgida. Not only plants but even the sculpture has a role to play in alluring people towards such locations where people connect to the local art, culture, sculpture. So this is another dimension of such gardens, parks, biodiversity parks, where they have added different plants, as well as they have also assigned a space to the local artists where they have showcased, displayed their art. So this is another horse chestnut, hondoon like plant. Yes, but this is different. This is perhaps this is yellow Bakai, which is named as Aesculus flavor, is yellow flowering, and this is also native to North America, as Aesculus hippocastanum is native to Europe, and Aesculus indica is native to India. And all this beauty of goldenrod is due to Solidago rigida. This is all bone set, that is